The building is still a skeleton on Helena's landscape, a work in progress, a 68,000 square foot expansion to the Historical Society. Dignitaries brought crowds from all over Montana to celebrate a turning point in the museum's construction.
Our topping out ceremony, where we'll place the last 2 structural steel beams of the Montana Heritage Center.
On those beams are the signatures of hundreds of Montana school kids, ordinary Montanans, iron workers, the governor, and philanthropists Dennis and Phyllis Washington. The Washingtons gave a whopping $25 million to the project.
Yeah, we got to step that way though.
Iron workers are lifted into the sky to begin their work.
I'm on the ground pointing fingers. Those are my boys up there.
Every eye is transfixed on the ascent.
And now you see the reality of it, the metal, the concrete.
High above the crowd, they work the beams into place.
You get to see people on the street, looking at you, kind of get a feel-good feeling that you're able to do a job most people can't do.
On the beams are a Montana state flag, the Iron Workers Union banner, and a good luck evergreen tree, a symbol of a building's birth.
It's nice to see it in the air after staring it on drawings.
I'm going to be able to walk by, years down the road and say I had a hand in this project.
It's a stone's throw from Montana's most treasured landmark.
There's certain vantage points that are specifically set up to take in the view of the Capitol.
Lead architect Tony Hout says it will offer a breathtaking view of Helena's most famous mountain.
The sleeping giant, very noticeable.
It should remind visitors of Montana's topography in abstract.
Of glaciers and their movement in our state.
Where it connects to the Historical Society building, it will be flatter and softer, like Montana's vast plains. Then everything changes. The building will become bolder, more jagged, like western Montana's Rocky Mountains.
Jutting out like the mountains of glacier. We want to show the two crashing together.
To tie the culture and the geography of all of Montana into this facility.
Architects work with the Montana Historical Society for years to make a vision reality.
And to really bring the whole culture of the state together into one building.
It will have a 300-seat auditorium, an open terrace with views of the valley, and a gallery telling stories from the present to 12,000 years ago.
Like a labyrinth where we will weave together the stories of Montana.
It is absolutely going to wow you. We'll have a 16,000 square foot exhibit just about Montana history in general.
From the woolly mammoth to Jim Bridger and Stagecoach Mary.
From our Native American inhabitants to the Chinese stories in Montana to, the Cornish stories of the miners.
We've also spent a lot of time with American Indians in the state, and we're starting to weave that culture into and throughout the entire concept of the building.
Makes me proud to be part of that.
Smokey Rides at the Door is a project delegate from the Blackfeet Nation. He says long before there was a Montana, there were the Blackfeet.
Our territory ranged from Edmonton, Alberta to the Yellowstone River and to the mountains and to the North-South Dakota border. Very relevant that we have a main say as to how the presentations will be presented here, and along with the other tribes are part of that presentation and project.
The Heritage Center will create more room for the current museum, which will be remodeled.
This is our Montana Homeland Gallery, and it will be greatly expanded in our addition and will be one of the highlights of the facility.
The McKay Gallery of C.M. Russell Art is one of the most visited sites at the museum. When the Montana Heritage Center is completed, this will double in size.
There are more paintings and there are more pieces that we can put out. 8,000 square feet of a new story of Charlie Russell, telling who he was as a person.
From Montana's capital city, there are countless more stories of Montana history ready to be unveiled. Kevin Mackey, NBC, Montana.